easiest part of my day. The Union game is going to be so hard to work through. And it's FS1, and like they have a race. I don't even know if the Union are going to be on time, but the broadcast is going to be on time. So yeah, just let me know about levels when we do go on in terms of the speakers and then their levels. Sweet. Sweet.
Anybody.
Dogs and the best baseball talk you can find. So kick back with your bacon and eggs and pour yourself a mimosa while Phillies announcer Gregg Murphy and Green Legion Radio's Chris Sack break down and take you around the league right now on Baseball Brunch. Play ball!
Good morning, Philadelphia. Welcome to Bud Light Baseball Brunch live here on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler and the iHeartRadio app worldwide. We are taking you into Phillies-Dodgers this afternoon at 1:35. Yes, the sinking ship, the Titanic, that is your Philadelphia Phillies. We are leading you in to the game this afternoon as we try and salvage one of this three-game set and make sure that we can at least go 2-4 on this homestand instead of 1-5. You know, things were great. Things were good. I'm Chris Sack of Green Legion Radio. Things were great during the time frame while my co-host was not with us. And I know he was sitting there listening probably last week saying, you know, it's only a matter of time before I return to Bud Light Baseball Brunch. And things are going to go wrong again. That Irish luck that Charlie Manuel once talked about is probably going to go to the wayside. But I'm so happy, though. The last couple of weeks have felt a little bit empty around here at the Green Legion Radio family and Bud Light Baseball Brunch. Not doing this without you, Murph, and having to suffer through an hour and a half of Quimby here a couple weeks ago, and Slash held down the fort last week for you. But my co-host, and welcome back, Mr. Gregg Murphy. How you doing this morning, Murph?
I am doing well. It is good to be back. I've taken off as much time as the Phil's offense has over the last couple of weeks, it feels like. But I am back, and we will hope that the Phil's bats are back this afternoon here at Citizens Bank Park. Yeah, it's been a tough homestand, obviously. Look, good teams, but the Phillies have not done what they need to do in order to be successful. And all you have to do is sit back and watch the games unfold to know they're not playing their best baseball right now. And it needs to change. You know, we're at that point now. We're at the quarter pole of the season, 40 games into the season. And the Phils are 4 games under 500.
18-22.
Yeah, 18-22. They're 8 games out in the division, which to me doesn't matter all that much. I do think the Mets come back to the pack a little bit, but it's just that they're not playing consistently good baseball. They're getting good starting pitching. That hasn't been a problem. They're getting some offense here and there. Bullpen's been an issue of late, so they got to figure it out. I mean, it's getting to that point where you can't say it's early at this point. Now we're getting to the point where it's like you got to figure it out if you want to stay in the mix.
Absolutely. And this first segment is brought to you by our good friends at State Farm. Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto, and guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, State Farm agent David Russo is your go-to agent for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try combining home and auto today. State Farm agent David Russo will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call 856-740-5012 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Again, 856-740-5012. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements. listen, maybe the Phillies haven't been, or at least the Phillies offense hasn't been in a giving mood over the last week, but you know what? We are here at Bud Light Baseball Brunch, and we enjoy giving back to our listening audience here at 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler, and those of you that join us on all of our social media platforms. So we'd like to give you guys a couple tickets for Memorial Day. Because, listen, I'm not the type of guy all those years everybody was going down to the shore. Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July weekend, Labor Day weekend. Oh, let's go to the beach. Let's go out there and get sand all over us. No, that's not what this paisley white dude does. Okay?
No. That makes two paisley white dudes.
Yeah. My preference is to go to the ballpark, know the outline of the ballpark, and where the sun is not going to be directly hitting me throughout the course of the baseball game. So I want to send two of you to the Phillies-Giants game next Monday on Memorial Day. What better way to spend Memorial Day than to go to the ballpark? All right, so let's take a look here and go to our social media platforms right now. Green Legion Radio YouTube channel, the Green Legion Facebook page, or our Twitter handle at Green Legion. Again, next weekend is the unofficial start to the summer, with it being Memorial Day weekend. So we will pose the question to all of you. Your favorite thing about summer? Spending time at the ballpark and baseball are automatically taken off the equation. We all know that's obvious, especially if you listen to our show. That's what you're here for. So be creative, be original, have fun with it. Murph, what's your favorite part about the summer?
Well, it's funny because obviously I spend a great deal of time virtually every day of the summer with the baseball team, whether it be here in Philly or on the road. So we don't have a whole lot of free time in the summer. So for me, when I have that one, maybe it's a day game and I get home at around 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's twilight, the weather's decent. The one thing that I just absolutely love doing, this is going to sound a little strange, but I get out and I get on my tractor and I cut my grass. And then when it all looks perfect, I get up on the deck, grab a beer, sit back and just enjoy the night. That, to me, it doesn't get any better than that. It's relaxing. It's a rare night off for us in the summer, and that's enough for me. And if I'm on the road and we happen to have a night off, then a great dinner and maybe sit out on the, back by the hotel pool or whatever. And the beer's still there.
The beer doesn't get replaced.
In fact, you're probably putting them on at that point. But it's simple for me because we don't have a whole lot of time. You just got to enjoy those couple hours that you do get during the summer.
Yeah, I enjoy the nights out on the patio on Friday or Saturday night. It always seems to rain during those time frames.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, but I enjoy that as well. To drink with a cigar, the patio, kick on the fire pit, and listen to you guys.
There you go.
Especially a good, Friday night roundtable that you guys do. I don't like listening to you guys after the Phillies lose. I never like that. The fact when the Phillies lose anyway, but those roundtables tend to be a little bit more fun when LA is there and the roundtable. But my thing is, because I've got 2 young kids, and during the summertime, I enjoy doing carnivals and theme parks and taking them out and having fun. They love doing the rides. Some rides I could probably do without, like the Tilt-A-Whirl, which I probably never want to do again in my whole entire life. Stay off of that for sure. Jansen, you don't have a microphone, do you? Oh, you do?
I do, actually.
Okay. Jansen, what about you? John Jansen's with us, host of The Line Change, Monday through Friday. Actually, you've been taking some time off lately. So what are your hours again?
Well, I took off because of the Union. Union had a game Wednesday night. So, I'm usually on Monday through Friday until 11.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. So what's your favorite part about the summertime?
Summertime. I actually just did one of my favorite things, concerts. I love going out to concerts, out on the lawn at the pavilion.
And they're back this year, too.
I know.
Full force.
Last night was so much fun. But yeah, it's concerts. I love going out. I went to a Hall & Oates concert one time in the summer. It was fantastic. So, yeah, concerts usually
You can't headbang at a Hall & Oates show.
I cannot. That's foot tapping.
You can. You'll just a little off.
Yeah. Kind of like me at Ozfest one year, where I was the only one wearing a red shirt.
Okay.
Everybody was wearing black, and there's me walking through in the Philly shirt.
I was also very close to my first mosh pit. I didn't get into it because I saw somebody severely concussed in the middle of it, so I stayed away from it. But I got close. Enough.
All right, Slash, you on the mic over there? What's your favorite part about summer?
Definitely. Probably have to agree with you, Seth. Just sitting on the back patio with a beer, maybe a cigar, and the 5 pit.
There you go.
Yeah, we know you like dabbling in other things outside of cigars too.
Simple pleasures. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, quiet.
I'm with you, Zach. I'm not somebody that's running down the sword every weekend.
Well, you can't wear your tube socks down at the beach.
Yeah, I've upgraded. I got the crew socks.
Hey, real quick acknowledgement here. I want to acknowledge the passing of another Green Legionnaire, Matt Egger, passed away from cancer on Thursday. Matt was a big-time fan of the show. He loved all things Green Legion. He did a lot of trips over the years. This is now our third Green Legionnaire that we've lost over the last year, to go along with Alex Donahue and David Harris. But I'll tell you what, man, when football season comes back around, there's going to be one hell of a tailgate up there in the sky. And those three are going to be leading it for sure, and those Eagles chants. So, Matt, you will be missed. We'll keep everybody posted on our socials when the services will be to attend. Murph, I know you've been going through your own issues over the last year.
Yeah, I think you can call it great cancer kind of stuff.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I want to give you this opportunity, this platform here, if you could, and I know we did it a couple of weeks ago. You're working with Cindy Webster for proceeds going towards leukemia research.
Raising money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Cindy lost her father last year, right around this time. In fact, I think it was. It'll be a week. In a week, it'll be a year. She lost her father to lymphoma, obviously dealing with leukemia. So, we're getting together, raising some money, closing in on $50,000, I understand, by the end of the month. So it's been great. So folks want to donate, they can go onto my Twitter page and take a look. There's a link on there. And any donation would be great. So we continue to fight against, in particular, leukemia and lymphoma cancers, but certainly all cancers.
Not that people don't follow you already, Murph, but could you give your Twitter handle for everybody?
Am I at GMurphils? Is that what I am?
I think it's GMurph1. Is it GMurph1?
I have no idea.
Oh, man. Okay.
But you can look me up, I'm sure, on the Google, and you can find it.
You know what? I will make sure I get that for her.
Okay.
Yes.
Self-promotion, not Gregg Murphy's strong.
Nope, not exactly what I did.
All right, let's go.
talk about this team.
Yes,
right?
let's talk about this team. Let's go out of the box right now. And by no one's surprise, especially after last week's positive show here on Bud Light Baseball Brunch on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler, I told Slash last week, I was like, listen, man, anytime that we talk positively about this team over the last year plus on this show, things go awry. Things go completely down the tubes. So
Here's what I can tell you.
do I need to be negative the rest of the season?
Here's what I can tell you. What we say today, tomorrow, or the next day will have no effect on the game of baseball
Are you sure about that?
being played over there in South Philly. I am 100% positive of that. The reaction to a great road trip, which it was last week. At that point, I guess they were 4-1 when you guys were on the air last week before, or 5-1, before losing that final game.
Well, 4-1. Yeah, they went 4-2 on the show.
I think what's
No,
disappointing.
it was 5-1. Yeah, it was 7 games.
Yeah, I think what's disappointing is that, they come back and you really feel like, all right, you have the Padres and the Dodgers sitting in front of you, and it's going to be a difficult homestand. And, that's just the way it is. The schedule in May is tough. However, you had played so well, and you felt as though, all right, they're going to bring back some confidence, and they're going to be back at home, a place where they generally play pretty well, and they fell flat on their face. Shutouts and
Two shutouts
in the Padres series, and just really nothing going, no excitement, nothing to really build up. Now, there's a huge piece missing in the middle of that lineup, Bryce Harper, for the entire week, and you look at the record, Bryce out of the lineup, it makes a difference. Now, is he the only reason? No, and he can't be the only reason. They need contributions from other guys. They need JT Realmuto. No,
Kyle Schwarber.
They need, and maybe Kyle is starting. The last 2 games, he swung a pretty decent bat, so maybe fingers crossed. It's a very small
We
sample
thought that at the beginning of May, too.
No, we did, yeah. So small sample size, so I'm not ready to say he's back, but they need him. Nick Castellanos has fallen on hard times. Up until last night, Alec Bohm had been struggling. Reese Hoskins and Reese and Gene have been the only 2 guys that have been pretty consistent throughout the entire season. So you're not going to win a lot of games when you're playing that way. I'm not sure what it is. I think that this team needs to get back out on the road. I really do. I think they need to get back out on the road, see some different things, refocus, and we've got the NL East coming up, the Braves and the Mets, so they can make some hay if they play well on the road. Certainly would be nice to get a win today and have some good momentum going out there. But look, if you're not going to swing the bats consistently 1 through 9, you're not going to win a lot of games. That's what we're at.
In the second segment, too, we're going to talk about the NL East, the current condition of the NL East and how it's looking, because things have changed in the landscape for the Mets as well. And the Braves are starting to get a little bit healthier because they got Ronald Acuna back. We're going to touch on that, but this is a huge week for the Phillies. Big time. I mean, you need to salvage something here today, this afternoon, and then you're going to Atlanta for 4, and then you have the Mets for 3. You cannot afford to stumble out the blocks over the next week. You can't fumble yourself. They need a winning road trip. 4-3, 5-2 is the only way that it's possible for this team to be able to stay in this race in the NL East to begin with. But the wild card too is kind of going by the wayside. They're only 4 games back, and anything can happen. And they're going to make additions because John Middleton has proven that he's willing to spend the money at this point. But what I'm looking at here now is you touched on with Bryce Harper. So Bryce was the hottest hitter in the park. And I understand Bryce wants to get back into the field. He wants to be back playing right field every day for this team. But even with having that injection in his elbow, you're looking at him not throwing a baseball until the end of July, maybe not getting back into the field until August. And even that is a long shot. I mean, you just took the hottest hitter in the planet out of a lineup, and over the last week, you fumbled completely. And I know they were hoping that he would have been back in the lineup. There was a hope for Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest. He didn't get back in the lineup until yesterday. What was up with the delay? Was it the reaction? Like his elbow wasn't taking to it? I don't know much about the platelet injection, but what took so long to get him back into the lineup?
It's a shame because I think the narrative publicly is it took longer than it was anticipated. I'm not sure that's actually the truth. When he had the injection on Sunday in LA, they told him it could take up to 7, 8, 9 days before he felt like he was ready to go. They said you might be back in a couple of days, but 7 or 8 days is what they told Bryce. And he said that on Thursday, it started to feel like, okay, I can start to swing. He was taking light swings on Thursday. And then on Friday, he said he woke up feeling pretty good. And they just wanted to give it that one more day so that, he could have 24 more hours, come back into the lineup on Saturday. So, I don't think it took longer than what the Phillies thought. I don't think it took longer than what Bryce Harper thought. I think maybe it just took longer than what publicly was out there, like, he's going to get a shot, he'll be back on Tuesday. I don't know that was ever going to happen. If you look back, other people that get the PRPs, it takes a week. It is what it is. So it was unfortunate that it had to happen when it did. I think partly was because the team was in LA, and that's where the docs are, that are the tops of the world in this kind of procedure. So they wanted to get it done while they were out there. He was as hot as any hitter can be when they shut him down. But here's what I'll say: in watching him last night, 1 for 4 last night, but 3 really good at bats last night. So even after missing a week's time, able to get back in there and really see the ball. You could tell he was seeing the baseball last night. He put a charge into a couple of balls last night and also got the base hit. So let's hope that it didn't cool him off too much. You can't expect him to stay as hot as he was out there on the West Coast, but let's hope it didn't cool him off too much. And just his presence in that lineup is going to help. Whether or not it's enough to, get the job done against the Dodgers today remains to be seen. But it's certainly not a bad thing to see Bryce's name penciled back in that lineup. And long term, I think you're right. He's not going to be in the field before August. If August, right? I mean, I think there's that possibility that he does not play the field for the rest of the season.
Thank God for the DH.
Can you imagine? Because we would be looking at perhaps a season-ending injury at this point. But the fact that he's able to hit left-handed does not bother him when he's swinging the bat is really kind of remarkable for the Phils in terms of luck. So now they just have to take advantage of that. Castellanos, Schwarber, Quinn, Herrera, those guys, you're going to see more playing time out there.
Nicky is going to be coming back soon, right?
Yeah, and Nicky,
Do you know how long that rehab stint's going to be for him?
I would imagine it's going to be about a week if I had to bet. So he's played in 2 games. He won 1 for 4 last night. He had an RBI and a run scored last night as well. So threw out a guy from center field at the plate. And the day before, he had a double and a triple. So he's swinging the bat pretty good down there. It's Clearwater. It's a rehab assignment.
Yeah.
Let's not put too much stock into that. But as long as he's healthy, they can get him back up. I'm sure he'll end up in AAA for a couple of games before he comes back to Philly. They're putting a lot of eggs in Nicky Moniak's basket. They are. And if he is able to withstand that pressure, kind of come in there, he's going to bat low on the lineup, which is great. We'll ask him to play center field, make the plays. I do think they're putting a lot of eggs in Moniak's basket. If he can play like he did in spring, it's a big if, right? I mean, spring is different than the regular season. But if he's able to do what he was able to do in spring, huge bonus to this lineup because right now they're not getting a ton of production out of center field.
Okay, let's save a little bit more of this when we roll in the next segment. I have one run sheet that I want to get into with you, as well as MLE's talk. But our friends at Premier Window Cleaning, they're the leading window cleaning company in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. Over 30 years experience, they offer commercial, residential window cleaning, pressure washing, parking garage cleaning, graffiti removal, post-construction cleaning. Every employee is trained, certified, and goes through an extensive background check. At Premier Window Cleaning, your satisfaction level needs to be 100%, as no job is complete until you're happy. With clients like Lincoln Financial Field, Comcast, Chop Roberts, and University of Pennsylvania, you cannot go wrong. For more information and a full list of services, give them a call, 267-534-5198. That's 267-534-5198. Or head to the website, www.wehatedirtywindows.com. That's www.wehatedirtywindows.com. Also, make sure you guys go to our social media platforms and get your selections in for what your favorite part is about summer. And again, we canceled baseball and we're going to baseball games, so that's too easy here about that baseball brunch. Right here on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. Coming up on the other side, NLE's talk as well as wild card. We're going to be looking at it from all points here at the quarter pole for your Philadelphia Phillies. Again, 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. We will be right back right after this.
Yo, it's Gary Barker.
Thank you.
Hello, how are you? Nice to see you.
Not enough.
Yeah, agreed. Love it.
How you doing?
I get so uncomfortable in this weather. Shirt's all sticking to me. And stuff.
I can feel the heat through the,
I know,
through the doors.
I get all sticky.
We didn't think you were here. We came by and you weren't outside. I'm like, oh, well, maybe they're not here.
Yeah, we're hiding inside now this year.
Yeah, I got
You
you.
here every weekend?
At home
Every
games.
home game.
When they're on in the afternoon.
I don't know, maybe Murph will invite me in the radio booth so I can stay in the cold.
It's very cool. Great.
Oh, see, man, if I get an invite, I don't know if I will.
You're
I do.
welcome anytime.
That's a risky business. Getting me in front of a microphone.
When did John move in?
What's happening?
Yeah, what?
Oh, dude, brutal. Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
glad we're inside. Yeah, the equipment definitely would have been.
Yeah, this is good.
They were trying to actually set us up outside.
It's really funny because you guys are right underneath the TV and there's like animal videos going on behind you.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Oh, good old Chai TV.
Cute like puppy videos. It's fantastic.
Oh, look at that glove. Love it.
Oh, that glove is great.
Kids could do yours.
Why can't adults? You know,
Why?
why can't adults have it?
Why?
It's just a
There's
baseball.
lots of reasons.
Grow up, Peter Pan. Count Chocula.
Thank you.
Dude, I caught 2 home run balls in one game.
Did you really?
Yeah, one with my bare hands.
No way. See, I don't want to do that. What if I jam a finger?
And you're a
Have you
loser.
ever jammed a finger? I used to hate that. I was
Yeah,
a
that
catcher
Pedro
when I played
Feliz
baseball.
home run, 2009.
I jammed my thumb so many times. Jamming your fingers suck.
Yeah, I caught Pedro Feliz with my bare hands, and I caught. And that was off dice game.
Ooh, nice.
And then Jason.
I
Worth,
missed dice go.
Jason Worth hit a dude 2 rows in front of me, hit the dude behind me in the lip, rolled underneath the seat behind us. My dad reached down to pick it up, and he pulled back, and the ball was still there. So I picked up the ball, and my dad pulled back an empty hamburger.
Nice. Does he still have it?
I should have got him a case.
Oh, you know what you would actually like? My mom actually has a ticket stub to the Flyers Soviet Union.
Oh
She actually kept that. She kept
That is
like
cool.
all the paper clippings from like when Ray Diddy used to write about the Flyers and all that.
Dude, I love Ray Diddy.
My mom has some really cool Flyers.
We're gonna have to mention him next time. Because it's his last show. Yep.
Yes.
The Gambler, presented by Pure Auto Insurance.
All right, welcome back for our second segment here on Bud Light Baseball Brunch. Beautiful day down here at Citizens Bank Park. Xfinity Live is where we're doing the show. And I'm Chris Sack from Phillies Radio alongside Phillies broadcaster Gregg Murphy. And we're happy to have Murph back for the first time in a few weeks. And man, I'll tell you, it is definitely smoking hot out there today. And hopefully the Phillies offense is going to be smoking hot today because we need to get something going this homestand. 4 runs, 3 runs, 2 shutouts, 1 run. It's not enough, Murph. We need to get some offense going today.
No, and it's funny because you watched yesterday's game from the get-go and you thought, okay, all right, here they go. They're swinging the bats. They scored a couple runs in the second, scored in the third, scored in the fourth, and you're like, okay, this is the way to do it. And then, boom, it just shut down and little by little chip away. The Phillies did not trail in yesterday's game until the 8th inning. They didn't trail in the game. They led most of the game and they tied it up in the middle of the game. They didn't trail until the 8th, but it never felt like the Phils had control of that. And I don't know if you feel the same way. That's the way I felt watching it. I was just like, 4 runs is not going to be enough against this Dodgers team. And it certainly was not.
Well, you already know because before we jumped on air, I was telling you that money line for the live money line for the Dodgers was looking pretty enticing. They were down 4-1. But, it is getting hot outside, or it is hot outside, and summer is going to be really heating up. So that's why you guys got to go visit our friends down at the Ludlam Hotel in Sea Isle City. Everyone, we're happy to introduce to you for the first time the fully renovated Ludlam Hotel on 4000 Landis Avenue in Sea Isle City. Yes, the old La Costa. With the complete renovation finished, you will now see a brand new look, feel, and vibe set amongst a casually sophisticated bar, cozy a la carte dining room, and the only mellow lounge in Townsend and Inlet. The menu is seasonal, offering the freshest local seafood, cooked simple to ensure that flavor that already exists stays that way. The hotel is open year-round, and all guests enjoy free Wi-Fi, 1 free parking spot per room, and a complimentary beach tag for all registered adults. Walking distance to everything. Check them out at www.lumhamhotel.com. That's www.ludlamhotel.com or call them at 609-263-7829. That's 609-263-7829 for all your reservation, dining, or entertainment questions. The Ludlam Hotel, your new oasis in Sea Isle City. And speaking of getting hot, Murph, the hot seat is starting to get really hot on the manager for a Fighting Phillies. You're around a team all the time. You do some interviews. I know Kransky does the majority of them with the manager, Joe Girardi. But you got to have an understanding here that this is probably the biggest week in his tenure. Salvaging a victory today and not going 1-5 on his homestand, and then going out on the road for 4 in Atlanta and 3 up in Queens. This week for me could be do or die. I mean, I'm a manager in the last year of his contract. An owner that spent a lot of money this offseason to bring in 2 big bats, not showing a lot of life as this ball club outside of that road trip. A change could be in the cards here in the next couple of weeks if they're stumbling this week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously anything is possible when it comes to professional sports. It's a performance-based business, and if you're not getting the job done, whether you're a player, coach, manager, general manager, then you're going to be looked at. You're going to be scrutinized. I have never, and I mean this goes back 25 years covering sports. I've never been much of a person that puts a whole lot of blame or praise, to be quite honest, on the manager, coach, what have you. For me, it's always about the players, and there's only so much a manager can do to kind of get his players to play at the highest level. I do think there are some things, and I think Joe Girardi is probably trying all of those things as we speak. But for me, it's like, how much can you put at the feet of Joe Girardi if with bases loaded and less than 1 out, your hitter goes up there and strikes out 3 pitches. I mean, there's not a whole lot Joe Girardi can do other than be like, hey man, don't do that, And so I get the reaction of, hey, we need change. Maybe just for a change's sake, maybe a little bit of a different voice, a little bit of a different personality in the clubhouse. But to me, unless these guys start playing better, unless these guys start to get back to the level that they're all accustomed to playing, after seeing it before, there's not a whole lot I think the manager and the coaching staff can do. So we'll see. To your point, John Middleton wants to win, and he spent a lot of money to get to the point where he thinks they have a team that can do that. So if he believes, or if Dombrowski believes that maybe a different voice is the way to go, they might make a change. But if I had to bet, Joe Girardi's your manager at the end of the season. That's just my belief, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Dave Dombrowski has had a history of doing such moves. I think he's done it a couple of times throughout the course of his career. So that's another thing that kind of weighs in my thought process. Now, I like Joe Girardi. I think he's been dealt a bad hand here over the last couple of years. I mean, the pandemic showed a 60-game season, second worst bullpen ERA of all time in that season. The most blown saves in the history of Major League Baseball, at the top of the Colorado Rockies, having that distinction last year with another bad bullpen and another season where you're doing COVID protocols. And this year, he's a lame duck manager. I said the same thing about, I wasn't a big fan of Gabe, as we've established over the course of the show. But even Gabe, people were like, oh, well, he went out to San Francisco. Well, they didn't think he was good enough to be a lame duck manager in the last year of his contract, because that's what he would have been. Back September collapses, and that's what we would have brought back. San Francisco might fit his personality just a little bit better than it does in Philadelphia. Good for him. But I look at it from this context here. There's only so many places you can make changes over the course of the years. You could fire a hitting coach, or you could fire a pitching coach. I don't think Caleb Cotham is really much of a problem. I mean, the starters have been pitching pretty well, in particular at home. And they're one of the best stats at home. And then you look at the hitting coach, he's brand new, Kevin Long. He's one of the best in the game. And the players, big contract, big money, there's not many things you can move around. At the end of the day, if a change needs to be made, it's got to be with the lame duck manager, in my opinion. Yeah,
and that's often the reason why those changes are made, because it is the only significant change you can make in the middle of the season. So, but again, I think, yes, the team is underperforming for sure. They're 4 games under 500 at this point, and that is not where they expect it to be. It's not where they should be with the talent on this roster. It's not where they should be with the starting pitching they can get. So for all those reasons. But that said, all we have to do is look back to last season, the Atlanta Braves, where they were then in June and July.
They didn't go 500 until August.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you just keep some perspective and say to yourself, it's still a long way to go. A lot can happen in injuries, and we're going to talk about it for the Mets. If the Phils go on a 5-game win streak, they win 7 of 9. All of a sudden, the complexion completely changes. And this team is capable of winning 7 of 9. They've had one of the toughest schedules in baseball so far. It does get easier in June when you look at teams that they're going to be playing in June in terms of their record. So, look, I get it. It's frustrating. I'm watching it every night. I'm as frustrated as everybody else. But I don't think it's panic mode yet. And I don't think it'll be panic mode until August, to be quite frankly. So, I think they just got to play better. And I think they got to go to the ballpark today thinking to themselves, I got to play better. Each and every one of them. And if they're able to start doing that, we're going to see results. And things are going to slowly start to change. Will it be a remarkable flip-flop? I don't know. Could be. Maybe not. But we will see improvement with this team going forward.
I heard a statistic today, too, that I believe that Aaron Nola, the only game they won that he started was opening day. I think they're 1-8, 1-9 since.
And Aaron Nola has been really good.
He's been snake bit to a certain extent. I mean, like 7-1 game against the Mets. And not getting offensive support. But, man,
the starting pitching from top to bottom has been really good. You can't pin it on that.
Will was fantastic. That's pitching Will.
Gibson's been solid. Eflin's been solid. Ranger's been not as good as we hoped, but I do still think there's a lot there for Ranger Suarez. this rotation's been good. The bullpen's been shaky, I think is the best way to describe it. They get themselves into a lot of jams. They walk a ton of batters that can't be doing that. And then every once in a while, the other team breaks through, like we saw last night, and they end up costing the team the game. Again, if you look at the analytics, the offense should be better than it is. I don't buy that. It is what it is. I mean, you're watching it, and they're not scoring runs when they need to. So, to me, it's the offense. This team is built to score runs and to win games, 5-3, 5-4, and they're not doing that enough, and they've got to do that.
Well, let's look at the NL East now. As we were talking about, I mean, the Mets right now have a substantial lead in the National League East, but they got hit again with the injury bug. Max Scherzer is out 6 to 8 weeks left with league strain. I was watching that game live the other night when that happened, and it was just what happened.
Yeah,
you don't see Max Scherzer tapping out.
He was so good. He's so good.
And see him just doing the hand motion, like asking out. And then they're already without Jacob DeGrom, they're without Tyler McGill. So 3 big guns.
Walker too.
Walker. Now Walker starts today. Okay. Yeah, Walker starts today. I think he missed a little bit of time there. But the 3 big guns in your rotation, you don't have them. If there's ever a time, it's now to try and gain some ground. And with that 3-game set in Queens next weekend, you're looking at. I mean, that's the last time you play the Mets until late August.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yes.
We played them enough, but I think late August is the next time we play them. So you get a few months off. But these are games where you need to beat them to make up some ground within the division. And then you have the Braves. The Braves just kind of commuted back. They had a little slight scare. He tweaked his right groin. For tweaking your right groin and having 8 stolen bases in the limited amount of time that he's been playing, the guy's a complete stud, and he just resets their whole entire lineup. It just makes it that much deeper. And I haven't seen anything on Soroka yet. I think All-Star break is what they were looking at, and they're one of the best general managers in baseball. They're Falcons.
Well, they proved that last
year. Yeah, I mean, he's going to make those small grade moves, but he's also not scared to try to make the big move too. He has to. But last year, that's what got him over the top with those outfielders, Ariel, Peterson.
Yeah, but that brings me back to my other point, and I feel the same way about Dave Dombrowski. Like, okay, I'll give the keys to Dave Dombrowski in August and say, hey, fix this. He's a guy that he's proven he's done it before. Right. He can do it again. So in the same breath as Alex Anthopoulos, you think to yourself, all right, the guy here in Philly might be able to do that too. So now you have to stay close enough that it makes sense. But what the Braves were able to do a year ago, and that's just one example in a 130, 40-year history of baseball. There's tons of teams that have, made runs at the end. So, this is a big week, and you said it in the first segment. A very big week for the Phils. Once the Dodgers leave town, the NL is staring you right in the face. And you're right. I don't know if this is the best time to be meeting the Braves for the first time because they are starting to get a little bit. They are starting to get a little bit better. But it is a pretty good time to make some moves on the Mets. So we'll see if that can happen over the course of the next 7 days. Phil's have the opportunities right there in front of them. They come home from that trip 5-2. We're having a different conversation now, right? Yes. And that's baseball, and that's why you can't get too high and you can't get too low. You really do have to kind of stay the middle ground until September. And in September, it's pedal to the metal, all bets are off. Win or lose, die with every game kind of thing. I get that, but not right now. I don't think we're at that point yet.
I mean, you look at the division now. The Mets are you're 7 games up on Atlanta, and they're 8 back, and then the Marlins are 8.5 back. And then we're all right there within that wild card. Listen, that's what we need too. We both have the Phillies making the playoffs because of that third wild.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, it's easier to make the postseason this year. The rules have changed. There's extra teams in the postseason. So you look at the standings, and you're right, 8 games back doesn't look great here, sitting here in May. But let's also remember that the Phils are 7.5 games back with 17 games to play, and made up that. Baseball's a strange sport. So a lot can happen. 8 out in May doesn't mean a whole lot. You just have to play better baseball. That's what matters. if you do that, the rest of it kind of takes care of itself.
You know why this makes me sick, Greg?
Why?
Because you picked the Mets to win the division.
I did.
And I still, like,
You know how much I hate that.
your skin was crawling when you made that pick. And to this day, I still can't look at you the same way.
Yeah, well, believe me, I get it. I'm ashamed of myself and my family.
Can we cut that? Slash, I need that drop. I'm ashamed. You know, like that 1 week where your picks and you get like an 0-3.
Yeah.
And then we can
Not
just
gonna
drop. You know, I'm ashamed.
Not gonna happen. Hey, the Bills haven't even seen the Nationals yet, and the Nationals are the dredge of this division.
That's why I didn't even mention it.
Yeah. So again, but the Braves and the Mets have seen the Nationals, right? So they've got a chance to beat up on the Nats a little bit. Phillies have not.
It's a bad thing.
Yeah, they are.
It's unbelievable how fun. And just real quick, and I know you were saying, you know, you used the example for the Braves last year, and I saw somebody use the example for the Nationals.
A couple years back,
too. The only difference between those two teams and this team is those two teams had a proven track record of knowing how to get to the postseason. The Nationals have been making the postseason since 2012. The Braves were on a stretch right now of what, 4 or 5 division titles in a row. They knew how to win the division and how to get into the playoffs and how to get to the NLCS. This team hasn't proven that yet. They need to get over that hump. They need to get past that September threshold that has been bugging them in the ass since 2019, since Bryce got here. Even before that, 2018, they kind of fell off on the wayside too.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
So we got to see this team do that collectively. It's like that 07 group that got over that hump, like you said, 7.5 to 17 to go. And once they got over that threshold, I don't think we really questioned them after July 31st anymore. We were like, we saw it in 05, we saw it in 06. They finally got to the playoffs in 07. So in 08, we really weren't like, okay, cool, we're going to get back in the division in September, not a problem, we're good. I think that would calm the nerves of Phillies fans alike. And, you know, and those of us that cover the team, I think that would, maybe put a little bit of water on the fire if we had that background like those other teams.
I agree with that. You know, it's one of those things. It's like when you say, well, that guy's not big in the clutch, right up until he's big in the clutch, right? That guy can't get it done. Right. That guy can't get it done in
I want him to prove it wrong.
Right. I want him to prove it wrong. We all do. I think, sometimes I think that idea of, you know, having to get over the hump and get into the postseason and prove it, I think that might be a little bit overblown. I don't think the guys in the clubhouse even think about that. I don't think that even registers in their consciousness. We talk about it, the media talks about it, fans talk about it, but the guys in that room, they're not talking about it. They're not, and because they're athletes and they believe in their ability, they believe in what they're doing, and they just go into work every day and try to win a baseball game. This idea that the September collapses and everything means anything to them, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And honestly, you know, half the guys weren't even here last year. So it really doesn't translate to the clubhouse. To me, that's a media-driven, fan-driven kind of thought process,
right?
Which is fine. And we're allowed to say, hey, until you prove it to us, we're not going to believe in you. I just don't think it registers for the players.
Speaking of September, though, September's when football comes back. And if you're going to travel anywhere for the Eagles and
you know what I would do?
What are you going to do?
I would go with Green Legion.
Yes, as you should. Yeah. You should go with Green Legion. Go to greenlegion.com and make sure you guys sign up for a trip. Chicago, Arizona, Indianapolis, Houston, all on the schedule. You can go down to Washington and see the Commodes, or you can go up to the Swamp and see the Giants and their pathetic selves. But make sure the Commodes. Make sure you guys call the office 215-666-5940. That's 215-666-5940, or go to greenlegion.com and make sure you guys get your deposits down with your trips today. In our last segment, we're going to go ahead. We're going to award tickets for next Monday's Memorial Day game. I want to say matinee. 4 o'clock, is that a matinee? I don't believe it is.
Raise your hand.
Okay, cool. I'm thinking about bringing my kids there. But 4:05 against the Giants is Dave Kapler. And we're also going to check out, we got to do our picks. So 3 picks for this Sunday's baseball action, as well as Can You Believe It? Right here on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. Right here with Bud Light Baseball Brunch. And we'll be right back right after this.
Should I go to the Phillies? Dude, if I was young, single, and had no obligations, if I was young,
don't know if I feel you.
Shut your bitch ass up.
How are you? So is that a yes?
First time back.
Yes.
I've been waiting for 30 years.
Welcome
Gonna
back.
give me tickets. Walk the county line.
You guys can do that, right?
Yeah.
He's bringing some luck today. With
Yeah.
We better. We need some options.
I'll give you Quibi's number and you can ask him.
No, I'm not going to ask you.
I've been killing against the crowd for so many years. So happy to be here.
Yeah.
Good to have you back.
No, ask
Yeah,
me
go
for
Phil.
free Arizona.
Yeah, okay.
It's for my dad's 70th, you know, right? That's not. It's too much money down to have.
Again, you can deal with Quimby.
That keeps like crossing.
I've seen it. I have no idea.
Is it that?
It has been, yeah.
I
No
keep
idea
like
what
laying down. I'm like, same thing.
Apparently Goodfellas is on TNT right now. Thanks, Keith.
Have you ever seen Goodfellas?
Nope.
Oh my! You never seen Goodfellas?
Excuse me?
Oh my God, Chris Sack. You leave the show right now and go watch Goodfellas and do not come back until you're done. Oh my goodness. What is wrong with you? Just when I thought,
You gotta watch Goodfellas.
you know,
Sorry, bud. Skip the baptism, actually. Go watch Goodfellas. Yeah, that's your
skip
baptism.
religion in general
Yeah.
until you watch Goodfellas.
I do skip
That,
religion.
that'll be the way you
As
get
soon
baptized.
as I walk into the church, I'm going to get struck by lightning. Who are we kidding?
Well, you know, you should.
You
Because
walk
you
into
haven't watched
church,
Goodfellas.
just immediately start sweating.
God's going to be like, I haven't watched Goodfellas?
You get so hot.
Tell me. Okay, I don't even know if I want to know the answer to this. Godfather? No. Oh my God.
So I'll even admit, I've tried watching it way too long.
Yeah,
I can't.
Casino.
Casino was the worst. Casino was actually, I watched
Casino's
Casino.
not in the same category.
Casino's not good. I can feel very comfortable saying it's not good.
Godfather one.
My dad's never watched them.
Godfather two.
Like, it's never been on for me.
Goodfellas I love. That's a great one.
Godfather better. Good.
Really?
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, I know that's very.
I've heard Godfather is more.
Godfather is phenomenal.
That can be true. But I've heard
Yeah,
more.
both can be true. Yeah. Okay.
But I've heard the other, like Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is tremendous for the first 85%, and then the last 15% of the movie is a little.
Yeah, I get that.
Godfather.
When he starts going,
It's just a phenomenal. I got right now Netflix show called The Offer. Miles Teller's the star.
how much time do we got?
And it's the story of how the
I'm coming back.
That was not Chris Sack that actually just said that. We have a fan over there. Welcome back for our final segment here on Bud Light Baseball Brunch, 102.5 Fox Sports and Gambler on the iHeart Radio app. Having a lot of fun here. It's actually nice this year that we're not out in the patio and we're sweating profusely and we're putting up tents and taking down tents.
hiding from the elements.
Yes,
In the air.
that's my preferred experience with the heat. I'm Chris Sack from Green News Radio, staying alongside Phillies broadcaster Gregg Murphy, and we're going to now give away our 2 tickets for the Memorial Day game against the San Francisco Giants at 4:05. And what is your favorite thing to do during the summer? And here are our options.
All right.
Being outside in general, going crabbing,
Okay.
barbecues. That's all we have.
Can I say it like the crabbing one? I like going crabbing. It's fun.
Yeah, you
And
know.
that's why you're a loser.
No, driving is great. Especially, all right, so here's the caveat. You then come home, cook up the crab, sit on your back deck, drink some beers. Let's assume that's the case in our crab.
Yeah, but I'd rather just go someplace and eat the crabs.
Well, you know, you got to be a little industrious sometimes. Your boys will be proud of you if you boil them up and crack them for them. And, come on.
Yeah, that might be.
Trust me, they'd be proud of you at some point in your life. I'll go with the crab.
I'm going with barbecues. So Chance is the tiebreaker, so I'm guessing.
Oh, you know where I'm going. That it's crabbing. I used to do that all the time as a kid.
What a chance. Slash, where are you?
I think crabs, I think beer, I think happiness.
Slash, if you were sitting alongside me right now and you were the tiebreaker, which way would you go? Crabbing or barbecues?
I'm not gonna lie, I would probably go crab.
There you go.
Goodness
Eat
gracious.
outdoors and barbecue are just so.
Watch The Godfather. If you haven't even seen The Godfather, you shouldn't get an opinion. I'm sorry, that was from the break. I'm so very upset.
Yes, Murph was really upset with me. And actually, I think I was the most upset at.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to think. There was one time, I think last year when I was calling John Middleton cheap, and I was going off on the
You were wrong.
Yeah, well, I got.
You were?
Listen, I was right at the time.
No.
I was wrong in the long.
I'm more angry that you've not watched The Godfather.
Okay, all right. So we'll allow you to be angry with me. Okay. Can we get to our picks?
Crabbing was the winner. Yeah, let's get to our picks.
All right, let's get to our picks here. Now, Slash in your place last week, and I'm going to put this out there. Okay, right here, right now. Whitney went 3-0 a couple weeks ago. Slash went 2-1. That 5-1 is not going towards your overall.
No.
You weren't here taking picks.
No, nor should it. I totally agree
I'm
with that.
not counting.
I don't know what you went during those 2 weeks.
I went 4-2.
Okay, those are not going towards your pick.
This is ridiculous.
That's the way
I'm here doing these people a service and helping them make money.
And you did, but it doesn't go towards our content.
This is ridiculous.
All right, so here we go. Let's go.
So I have to start back at my 2 and
Yes. Yeah.
or whatever I was.
Yeah.
This is no.
Well,
We're gonna talk more. We're gonna talk more. I'm gonna walk across the street and talk to LA.
you can do that. He'll agree with me, or he won't hear you.
Or should I give me
He'll just kind of stare.
give me Trucker's number? I know he's getting his gallbladder out tomorrow.
He is. Yeah. Good luck to John Crook and get that gallbladder out.
You know, it's funny. My dad had his gallbladder out years ago, and when they were taking this was probably 25 years ago, and they're taking him like through the hospital on the stretcher. And my dad looks at the guy, and he's like so drugged up and gassed up, and he's like, you need a license to drive this thing? So like, you know, we've been ripping on him ever since about that. But yes. So all right. So I'll give me and Chad will look into the records and everything. So as you stand right now, your record is. Actually, just give me your first pick. I'll find it real fast. You're 4-5. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm 4-5. You're 2-6.
Well, I'm 7-8. 7-8 overall. So yeah, give me your first pick.
All right, here we go. All right, so first pick, and this one pains me a little bit. Yeah, we got some Dodgers fans. Welcome to Philadelphia. We're gonna try to take one from you guys today. Okay, we're gonna try. All right, so the first pick is I've got Boston completing the sweep over the Seattle Mariners at home. They're -130. They're favored in this one.
4 in a row for Boston.
Yeah, it was 8 4 in a row. I know I'm not a Boston Red Sox fan by any stretch.
We established that last year.
Nathan Eovaldi versus Logan Gilbert. I think the Red Sox are playing pretty well right now, so I'm going to give them. Seattle to me seems like a team that's in a serious decline. So I'm going to go Boston.
Are you saying that Eovaldi's pitching pretty well right now? He hit 5 home runs the other day. Only the third pitcher.
That's it? Only 5?
Only 5. I mean, he's pitching well.
All right.
This Boston.
-130. So,
All right, I'm going to take my favorite as well right now. They're just under the 200 threshold for the point system.
okay.
So I'm taking the Astros over the Rangers. I'm taking your pick from last year,
Yeah.
except that it wasn't -250 or -280. So I'm going to take the -190. That's my favorite for today. I'm going to take the Astros game on your ticket. That's good.
All right, I'm going Pirates over the Cardinals. Pirates.
This is your upset stuff.
This is my upset special. +140 are the Pirates. I have no reason to believe the Pirates are going to win this game other than, I don't know, my gut's telling me they will try to avoid the sweep against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a really good baseball team. They have a tendency to fall asleep at times. So, and the Pirates have shown they can beat good teams this year, just not on a consistent basis. So, Pirates at home, avoid the sweep. They beat the Cardinals today. I'm picking like a 5-2 kind of game.
Okay. All right. My underdog for today is the Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
All right.
Adley Rushton.
Yes, I was going to mention him. It's funny. I got a laugh out of a tweet on that this morning. They've had 3 years to prepare for this kid's major league debut, and they do it on a Saturday. They announce it at 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning, the day of the Preakness. So the amount of attendance that they had in the stands was 17,000 fans.
I'm not sure it would have been much better if they didn't have the Preakness.
Number one overall, prospect in baseball. I'm going to take them today. They're going to get the W. They lost yesterday, so they're going to follow up with a win. So +145 with the Baltimore Orioles. You guys pick for this week?
Last pick, I'm taking an over/under. Headed out to the West Coast, Padres and Giants. Over/under 7.5 in that game. Kenzie Gore, Alex Wood, doing the pitching for the two squads. I don't know, 7.5 seems a little bit low for both those offenses, quite honestly. I don't think either Gore or Wood is, world beater, both solid pitchers, but I think 7.5 is certainly doable combined for the two teams, so taking the over.
All right, I'm going to go great. You went to the West Coast, I'm going great across.
All right,
Pass,
I like it.
right here, okay? My over-under for today, I'm taking the under. 9.5. With Tony Gonsolin and Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin's second start since he came back from the COVID restricted list, and he pitched pretty well on Tuesday. I'm going to stick. I'm going to take the under 9.5. I might come back. It might bite me in the rear end here with that 9.5, and with the way it's warm today, it's hot. The ball might be jumping out of the ballpark. But yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see it actually here at Cincinnati Park. Yeah, hitting season's out the West Coast. I took a vacation.
All right, you know what? That almost seems too easy, right? It's one of those picks that
it's one I won't complain about if I lose.
Yeah. Well, as long as the runs are coming on fully time. Yeah. Sure. All right. Over under 9.5. That feels in Dodgers. All right. Let's see.
Can you believe it?
All right. Speaking of the Wild, he was in the radio booth last night. Good to see Ms. Williams. Yeah, came in to say hello to the three of us. Hanging out with the Irishman a little bit. Looks good. Looks really good. So, good to see the Wild.
Always is. Mitchie, love Mitchie too. Real quick, and this isn't one of my can you believe it's, but Nathan Eovaldi. So he joined two other pitchers. All right, Chase Anderson in 2020 and Michael Blazak in 2017. Did he have 5 home runs? It's called bounce back game. Bounce back. Okay, we'll take that. Can you believe it? Our segment here. 2 things that we found interesting from Major League Baseball over the last week. Murph, give me the first one.
All right, so I've been intrigued by this Toronto Blue Jays team over the last couple of seasons, and watching these young kids develop into what is going to be a really good team for years and years to come. How good are they? How about this? The youngest Blue Jays to 50 career home runs. The Blue Jays have had some home run hitters over the course of their franchise.
Yeah, we will not mention it.
Yeah, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 50 home runs, 22 years old, 102 days, and Bo Bichette, 24 years old, 77 days. 2 young guys already at 50-plus home runs, and they're in their early 20s. Unbelievable. This Blue Jay team is going to be something.
Yeah, it's going to be scary for sure. Philly killer, Freddie Freeman. Yeah, this is courtesy of Ryan Spader. Okay, he played 1,565 games with the Braves. He had 2 games with 3 doubles in that time frame. He's played 35 games up until this point. This was on May 18th. 35 games with the Dodgers. How many games with 3 doubles? 2.
Look, it appears to me that Freddie Freeman can hit in a Dodgers uniform just as well as he can hit a Braves. That's my analysis on Freddie Freeman. The guy can flat out break. What an addition. It's not even line up.
So deep.
I don't even think that does it justice. It's just ridiculously good how good they are. All right, my second, can you believe it? Mike Trout, of course, right? Is the only player in Major League Baseball history with 1,000 runs scored plus, 200 plus stolen bases, and a 1,000 plus OPS through his age 30 season. It has never happened before, and Mike Trout.
I had that screenshot too. Yeah, I got that one as well. But this one, I'm staying close to home because I think this one's great. Kyle Hendricks the other day served up 2 home runs. Courtesy of Jason Stone. Served up 2 home run games to both Josh Rojas and David Peralta. The only other teammates with 2 home run games off the same pitcher in any game at Wrigley, Pat Burrell and Bobby Abreu. Hit it off of Mark Burley on July 30th, 2004.
How about that?
Back to back.
Yeah, 11 home runs in that game you're talking about at Wrigley Field. The wind was blowing out 25 miles per hour, straightaway center field. And Rojas that hit 3 home runs in that game, his first 3 of the season. Pretty impressive stuff. He only had 20 hits in the game, 11 of them were home runs.
You know what needs to be impressive? The Phillies this week. Big road trip. 4 in Atlanta, 3 in Queens. What do you got this week?
Cautiously optimistic. I think, we talked about it. You're pitching the Braves at a time where they're starting to play better baseball, but I don't think they're quite hitting their stride yet. Kind of where the Phils are. So 4 games down there in Atlanta, the first time we get a chance to see them, it would be great to go 3-1 down there. That would be ideal. I'll take 2-2 in Atlanta. Then you head to the Mets, and that's where you have to do some damage, because not only are the Mets the team that you're chasing, but they are banged up right now. You're not going to see, as we talked about, your top pitchers. So 2 out of 3 from the Mets, sweep the Mets. How about that? How nice would that be? Well, I'll take 2 out of 3. So 4-3 road trip. I'm comfortable with that. I'm happy with that. When you come back home, hopefully playing a little bit better baseball.
Next Sunday, you're going to be at Citi Field. I will. Right? So this is going to be the first time that we actually have to do that.
Sunday night baseball.
Is it Sunday night baseball?
Yeah.
Jesus, man. You still haven't done that this week.
I know.
You're going to be back in your hotel room.
Bringing you all the action from 281. Yeah. Big stuff.
Oh, gosh. Well, thank you all for joining us here this beautiful Sunday morning. Too hot for my liking, but beautiful nonetheless. The Bud Light Baseball Brunch on 102.5 Fox Sports Handler for a hungover John Jansen, a hungover Slash in the studio, and Gregg Murphy. I'm Chris Sack. And like a 3-1 pitch to Ryan Howard, we are out of here, baby. We will talk to you all next Sunday. Go Phillies. Let's steal one. Can we do that?
Still in the day. Be all right.
Experience values of men.
Perfect.
John, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'll see you in the radio booth.
We're hungover John Jansen.
I am not even. Okay, not even.
Thanks, Slash. All right, thank you. I think I'm going to go to the Phillies game.
Stop thinking. It's just
I got to run.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I got to run.
All right, we'll talk during the week. Thanks for